Hello, my name is Davey Osborne. I'm a junior here at GCU and I'm studying physical education. This week we're looking at personal virtues, which are positive moral traits or dispositions. These make up who we are and how we act. A positive moral virtue that I hold is compassion. I am drawn to help those who are hurting and in need, especially those who struggle socially. In my past jobs, I've always made sure to reach out to kids who are on the edges of the group, spending time with them, and above all else, connecting them with other kids their age. That way they can thrive with a teacher present, but also when they're on their own. An intellectual virtue is reflection. While I am confident in my abilities, a major aspect of my work life is reflection. I believe that anyone who is working with children is held to a higher standard of character because you are someone that they look up to, that they might model their lives after. So I believe daily reflection on both performance and attitude is huge, just to make sure that you're always staying on the right path and leading the kids the right way. Civic virtue is volunteering. I have coached volleyball and refed soccer and football. I think that volunteer work is an amazing way to serve the community, to build community, and with coaching in particular, I think it's an amazing opportunity for kids to learn things like teamwork and leadership, and being able to facilitate that as a volunteer is really just a blessing. It's something that I really care about. Determination is a performance virtue that I hold. I'm very driven to make sure that each student of mine succeeds, and I stand by the idea of no student left behind. When growing up, I saw a lot of kids who were quote unquote troublemakers who the teachers would do their best to not interact with because they were so much harder than the rest of the kids in the class. I had a kid like that my last summer working as a camp counselor who really struggled both with his peers and with other counselors. But I was determined not to let him slip through the cracks. I talked to him a lot. He brushed me off at first, and then I found out that he really liked baseball. So I brought 2 baseball gloves the next day, played some catch with him for around 30 minutes, and he really opened up and he showed so much growth, both like that day and that week and just for the rest of the summer. It was a night and day difference, and it really reinforced the idea to me that determination is so important as a teacher and as a role model for students. Character formation to me is a lifelong process of developing one's personal worldview, values, and beliefs. It is affected by the people we are surrounded by, our religion, our mentors. While character formation happens in all stages of life, adolescence is perhaps the most significant, which is what Peter Bloss states in his article on the subject. That is where one is confronted with the most changes in maturity and worldview development. When I am challenged, I tend to hold to my values strongly, which is what I believe is the correct response. I try not to let anyone else dictate how I act, and I try to be the same person throughout all that. There is an area where I'd like to grow, which is adaptation. Every kid is different, so what they want or need from their teacher will often be different too. And I want to be better at deducing quickly. Some kids, they don't want their teacher to be hanging out with them, especially middle school. Maybe that's embarrassing. Some kids do, so I want to be able to be very knowledgeable on when to act and how to act as well. Some strategies that I will use as a PE teacher are providing opportunities for student leadership, like team captains, warm-up leaders, and peer coaches. This will facilitate responsibility and service to others, and I will also create a PE environment that celebrates effort over ability, because studies show that mastery-oriented climate makes students more motivated and facilitates moral development. This study was done by Nick Tamanis and Martin Standage. To hold myself accountable, I will journal at the end of each day. I will write that out on paper, usually with a short devotional from the Bible app, and that helps me see how I responded to trials and what I can do better. For my resources, I've reached out to my former boss, who is very direct. She tells it like it is, so I know I can trust what she says, as well as my youth pastor, who's very observant, and he has given me constructive criticism in the past. I will use Gallup Strength Assessment, which is an online test which helps further personal development by diagnosing my exact strengths and weaknesses. And I will also, as my second resource, look at the book by Parker J. Palmer, The Courage to Teach, which encourages reflection on purpose and identity and emphasizes that good teaching comes from the heart and actions are aligned with values.